Na 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 Batman. Na 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 Batman. Boo! Bang! Bing! Boom! Pew! No 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 no. I'm Batman. No 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 no. I'm Batman. Boom! Pew! Pew! Wow! Wow! Hey! Hey, how you making out tonight? That's what Sal B used to always say when I'd call him on the phone or he'd call me up. I'd say, hello, hey Sal, what's up? And he'd go, how you making out? How you making? I don't know if that's like a Italian thing or a Jersey thing or a something thing or an Italian Jersey thing. But he'll be like, how you making out? That's what he'd always say to me. How you making out tonight? How you making out tonight? Whoa, we're talking about Batman. Well, we're not just talking about Batman. We're talking about Batman 66, topic that is near and dear to my heart. I think my first exposure to Batman was probably Batman 66. You have to be a certain generation to really, a certain couple of generations. I'd say Gen X and millennials, baby boomers too. Boomers, Gen X, and millennials all were exposed to Batman 66, and every generation that's, I guess, Gen Z and alphas, if they are turned on to Batman, it's like through some sort of esoteric way. You know, there's a saying about the 60s when it comes to pop culture, and I think pop culture really gets birthed in the 60s. You could argue maybe it was the late 50s, but really the 60s is the explosion of what we know today as pop culture. And it's been, slowly building. Imagine what pop culture will be in 1,000 years, in the millennium of pop culture history. It will be insane. A whole type of history. Like, we have lots of different types of histories. You have like religious history, and you have art history, and just, there's cinematic history, there's literature, the history of literature. But pop culture history, that's a relatively new kind of history. In the 60s, there was what's known as the 3 Bs. Can you guess what the 3 Bs are? The 3 Bs that represented 60s pop culture. And what is pop culture? Let's actually look up a definition. Like, I could tell you what I think pop culture is, but I want to actually look up what the pop culture definition. Like, what is the definition of pop culture? Let's see what they say. Modern popular culture transmitted via mass media and aimed particularly at young people. Okay, that's a great definition. So the idea, really, with the rise of the TV, you have homogenized culture that's not just national, but in fact almost international. And the three big things all began with a B. That really, and one was in music, one was in movies, and one was in television. And that's how it's known as the 3 Bs. Ready? I've said the 3 Bs about 100 times. Beatles, Bond, like James Bond, and Batman. So Beatles represented music, Bond represented movies, and Batman represented TV. Now, obviously, that's real. I mean, you could probably get way more detailed, way more nuanced with that. But it's just this idea of like the 3 Bs. So part of the Trinity was Batman 66. It was you were super cool if you were on the Batman 66 show. They did 120 episodes in 3 years. It was huge. It was a huge thing. And back then, being on TV today, it's really not that big of a deal. But to be on TV in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, really those 4 decades, if you were on TV then, I mean, you could reach such heights of fame, of recognition. People grew up with you in your living room. If you were a TV dad on some show that was in syndication, like, you were America's dad. You weren't just pretending to be a dad on a TV show for a half hour every week. You were the kids that grew up. So it's like And that also in turn gives rise to this sort of after culture of conventions and how, listen, if you had a good slot doing something, great example. I think there's some that just like, I mean, I don't want to name names because that would be rude, but let's just say there are some people that have made a very good meal out of something relatively small, relatively insignificant, relatively, and like, hey, I didn't more than I'll ever do in my life, but they're still, just like these little, and they go to every convention and man, do they, they eat. That's how they eat. And then, for, if you were on a show for 100 episodes, I mean, you hit the convention circuit and you make money that way, along with your, syndication residuals. That was like after the fact, that sort of thing. But that's neither here nor there, because we're here to talk about, I'm just talking in general about how famous these things were. So that's how famous Batman was. It was something that everybody talked about, everybody tuned into, everybody, if you were the who's who of the time, the way that like we think about like, I don't know, actors in society, like the scene of actors, of Hollywood actors, like everybody was on Batman. It was the cool thing to do, to be a villain on Batman. And there were tons of them. You had Burgess Meredith, you had John Aston, you had Vincent Price, you had Cesar Romero. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And some of these names are lost on many because these are old, these names are not names of, whatever. You have to know about a certain time and place to understand the significance of those. I'd say probably the most famous out of all of those maybe was Vincent Price's Egghead on Batman 66. But listen, it was a great show full of camp. It also, that gave rise to this idea of what camp is, right? Like camp got birthed out of stuff like Batman 66, which had its, tongue firmly planted cheek, the Dutch angles. It was just a great show. My favorite episode of the Batman show has to be when Batman and the Joker in season 3, they do a surfing contest and they're wearing board shorts over their costumes. So Joker's in like his full Joker suit and he's wearing board shorts and he has to race against Batman. He has to do a surfing contest against Batman. He steals the surfing abilities using a surfing ability transmitter device. He steals their abilities and he turns the surfers into surfboards. Does he imprison Batman and Robin? And the thing was, the episodes were always in 2 parts and there was a cliffhanger. And, look, if you were around back then, you know what I'm talking about. But I mean, and these things were syndicated to death, man. Like, I mean, like I said, well into the 90s, you could catch, Batman 66 on some channel and be exposed as a young child to Batman 66. It was a show that hadn't been on the air, hadn't had a new episode in 30 years. And it had that much holding power. So all of that to say that Burt Ward had a giant dick. I mean, a giant horse cock. Burt Ward was a hung hero. And that's the topic of our story, because to be that famous, to be on TV, to be seen on those screens. And how do those TV shows make money? With sponsors. So everything's got to be, you can have innuendo. I'm sure there's subversive innuendo here and there, but like, man, you can't just have, Burt Ward's giant horse cock in your face. You just can't have a giant horse stick, swinging around in green shorts. And that's what the executives at the network were stressing over when they had cast Burt Ward as Robin. And we're going to take a look and read all about it. I mean, this isn't some revelation. I had heard about this many times. In fact, I think Ralph Garman and Kevin Smith talked about this on Hollywood Babylon some years back. Original Robin actor Burt Ward was told his penis was too big for a TV show. This is from Jess Hardiman. I hope I'm saying your name last night, Jess. And it was published on December 21st, 2022. But like I said, this story had been circulated for a long time about Dick Grayson's big dick. Burt Ward's Dick Grayson. Of course, they don't show it. The actor who originally played Robin in the Batman TV series was once told his penis was too big. Yes, too big for the show. Having been encouraged to try and shrink things down. That's right. He took special pills in order to make his dick shrink, right? No doubt many men. Now, here's the question. If you're on a show that big and you're doing well, and Burt Ward didn't do anything after Batman, but like, you got to imagine that Burt Ward basically, I don't know what kind of lifestyle Burt Ward has. I know that, you know what Burt Ward does today, actually? He makes dog food for dogs, and it gives the dogs incredible longevity. Supposedly he'd make extended dog's life for like 2 decades, something like that, which is, astounding if true, if possible, if real. I don't know what the testimony. It's funny. I told my brother and his girlfriend at the time about that because they had a dog, older dog. I said, you should look into that because apparently, dog food, like everything, it's processed and it's made in a way where it just, it affects the dogs. They don't live as long. And that's Burt Ward's hill to die on is dogs. Gentle Giants. That's the name of the pet food. So go check out Burt Ward's Gentle Giants food. Besides that, I don't really know what else Burt Ward did in his life. I don't really, now I'm kind of curious to know if he had done anything else. Why am I asking this? Simply because if you're being told to take pills to make your dick smaller because you're on TV at the risk of like shrinking your dick, maybe who knows what kind of, irreversible damage it might have caused, like, what do? Take dick shrinking pills or leave the show? Because I'm sure at some point maybe they would push him up. He is 78 years old. God bless Burt Ward, man. Let's see what else he did. I mean, he didn't do anything. He was in the film. He was in the show. I mean, listen, nothing wrong with that or anything, but and he did two voiceover things. He had 4 spouses, 2 children. Post-Batman career. Let's see what it says. I mean, nothing. He wrote a tell-all autobiography in 95. He did a bunch of conventions. That's it. He did charity work. He did some charity work. Burt has also created a company, Gentle Giants, which sells dog and cat food. And he was married 4 times. I wonder if he got divorced. Yeah, he's not in a lot of he's in some stuff. I'm looking at his selected. Everything that he did was basically around Batman for the most part. He did a thing here, did a thing there, but it was all about Batman and his giant horse cock. His giant horse cock. Hey, what's up, Angus? What's up, Whiz Bang? How you doing tonight? No, I think that's incredible. It's like, in all honesty, what would you do? You're on a TV show. You're making TV money. You're going to be incentive. This is the other thing I wanted to say. The reason why I was saying, like, what else has he done? I mean, Burt Ward has probably done very well for himself just from the residuals. The syndication residuals are really good money, for like, especially for guys like Seinfeld or the cast of Friends, where in those cases, they own a piece of the show. Like the cast of Friends, I believe, collectively own 10% of Friends. So in addition to all they were making $1 million an episode. I mean, they were some of the highest paid actors on TV, the Friends crew. Every time like HBO Max or somebody buys up the syndication rights for, the however many episodes, 200 something episodes, 10 seasons of Friends, all of those actors, in addition to their residuals that they get, they also get a piece. So not everybody has that setup, but Jaleel White, who played Steve Urkel in Family Matters, he owns a piece of Family Matters. So he's got, gets a little chunk of something. But most actors don't. However, what they do get is they get these residual checks. Is it a lot of money? No. I mean, I don't even know I couldn't tell you what the average residual check is, but it's enough. I mean, it's enough to get by. I'm sure if you don't want to work a straight job, like most of us don't. I don't want to work a straight job if I don't have to. I do, and I'm grateful to, but ultimately, who doesn't want to, do what they want to do and get paid to do it? If you don't want to work a straight job and you get in, checks that are, every once in a while, a check for, I don't know, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, you probably did well, probably did pretty good. Angus agrees with me. He says, I can imagine that Burt Ward did well. The original Batman series had some great actors. I mean, he got paid for 120 episodes plus, residuals. He probably parlayed that money. He's got his Gentle Giants company. So Burt Ward probably did pretty well. And he, but the question is, would you do it at the expense of your giant horse cock? And, sorry, Burt Ward had a really big dick. I mean, that's literally, I came on here to just say that Burt Ward just had a giant schlong that he hid in those green shorts, and the TV suits were like, oh my God, his dick is so big. And about the TV, it adds 10 pounds, right? So Burt Ward's, 10 pound dick was actually like 20 pounds. There he is. There's the man himself. There's the swinging legend himself. So he was encouraged to try and shrink things down. No doubt many men would enjoy being told that they're simply too well endowed, but it's something that actually proved to be a bit of a problem for Burt Ward, who played the sidekick to Adam West's Batman in the 1960s TV series and its various offshoots. The Cape Crusader was well known for their tight-fitting, Cape Crusaders were well known for their tight-fitting superhero garms, squeezing their bits and bobs. The bits and bobs is a very British thing to say, bits and bobs, into teeny tiny lycra hot pants and tights. Woo boy. He probably could have started a really good Chippendales or like some sort of like striptease career after Batman and Robin if he wanted to. This, of course, didn't leave much to the imagination, which turned out to be an issue when people saw what Ward was packing. He was packing heat. Gummo Dude said, I heard Milton Berle used to throw his on a table to show it off to everyone. I'll tell you one thing, who apparently has a large dick and used to just take it out is and let it throb on a this episode is going to get buried. Please like this episode and subscribe, because this is going to get buried because we're just talking about throbbing horse cocks right now. Iggy Pop used to whip his out and just let it vibrate on amps and whatnot. Definitely going to get in trouble for this, but whatever. Just please like this video, leave a comment, leave me a skull if you would. And, listen, that can be a real sticky situation. And you know what else is sticky? Stickers are sticky. We've got a new sticker deal at Riot Stickers. That's right, folks. We are starting a brand new promotion here at riotstickers.com, and it is for die cut stickers. What exactly is die cut? What does it mean? It's time for Sticker Science 101. Basically, you got your regular stickers, right? But we introduce a new element with the die cut sticker. Basically, what you do with a computer-guided scalpel. That's right, computer-guided scalpels. Isn't that a great band name, Computer-Guided Scalpel? I love it. You can cut the exact shape of whatever your design is. So whatever you got going on, whatever its borders are, there's no borders, there's no limitations. You take your computer-guided scalpel and you just cut around the edge and you get, voila, a die-cut sticker. So in addition to the UV coating that protects from the sun, in addition to being printed on vinyl, which makes them weatherproof and waterproof, you can now have the exact shape that you want. Well, you always could, but you couldn't for a price like this. For $69, you can get 200 die-cut stickers. There are some people out there who are die-cut fanatics. They need die-cut stickers in their lives. You are not going to find a better deal than this. Now, there's only one place you're going to find this incredible die-cut sticker deal for $69. 200 stickers for $69. And that's if you go to the link down in the description. You go to riotstickers.com/Frumess. That's riotstickers.com/Frumess. What? Sharpie Riot, have you lost your mind? Have you lost your mind? These prices are insane. These prices are Crazy Eddie level prices. If you know Crazy Eddie, then you might be old. You might be older than me. You're probably way older than me. You click on the link, you do the thing, and you get your die cut stickers. Do not hesitate to get this deal, okay? And without further ado, Future Jeff, roll the 60-second Riot sticker commercial. Go, do it.
We make stickers, banners, and
And that's a promise. Okay. So, how did Burt Ward deal with his large, throbbing horsecock in those tight green spandex shorts? Let's find out. Let's find out. Speaking to Page Six back in 2020, maybe that's when it first came out in 2020. I feel like for years we knew this. This was not a new thing. The 77-year-old revealed that the size of his genitals turned out to be an unexpected area of concern for the Catholic League of Decency, who felt that Robin's bulge was too large. They thought that Robin had a very large bulge for television, Ward said, adding that the same could not be said for Batman. Oof. With Adam, they put Turkish towels in his undershorts, he explained. Savage. So that is a great shot. Look at him. Look how he stands proudly with his hands at his sides, with his fucking wang just chilling. And Adam West. I mean, I identify more with Adam West. I mean, listen, whether it was an issue or not, I would be fucking taking some gym socks and stashing them down there. In fact, I'm wait a minute. I just realized I've actually done that because, all right, so check it out. As you can see here, I've replaced my link tree with my website, Frumess.com. Go to Frumess.com. Lots of stuff on Frumess.com. That is my official website. I'm gonna let's go inside for a minute. Let's take a field trip, shall we? Just super quick. So here we are. This is my website. Actually, this is where, look, that's me, and we just set a guitar on fire in Robbie Bloodshed's driveway. Look, it's Robbie Bloodshed's guitar. Filmed it in overcranked it, set it on fire, and it was awesome. Pretty cool. That was a fun day. Anyway, let's go inside. And if you come here to the about section, look at this. You will see a picture of me dressed as Batman. There I am. And I have totally 150% put some socks down my fucking shorts. That is totally a fake bulge right there. That is not my cock at all. That is my attempt to pay homage to Burt Ward's throbbing, giant, veined, throbbing horsecock. Is this our filthiest episode ever? I don't think, we generally don't talk about this stuff on the show. So I think this might be the filthiest one. This photo was taken by my friend, Michelle Drevlo. And that's me, and that's my giant. So there you go. So I have been in that situation before, and I totally, if I was on TV, I totally would have done that again. So I would have been just in Adam West's situation right there. So what happened? Eventually, it got to the stage where the studio was unable to ignore the complaints and had to do something about it. Execs ended up sending Ward to a doctor to see if there was anything that modern medicine could do to help. And mind you, there is one thing you do. You could take saltpeter. Jason Todd. Yeah, that's right. I'm the Jason Todd. That's funny. That is funny. So I guess you could take saltpeter pills, right? That's supposed to help with that situation. The star recalled how the doctor prescribed medication to shrink me up, but he stopped taking the pills just days later. I took them for 3 days, and then I decided that they could probably keep me from having children, he said. I stopped doing that and just used my cape to cover it. Jesus. That's so freaking crazy, man. They're like, here, take these pills. We don't know what the hell they might do to you. Despite being a huge celebrity by the time he was 20 and one packing particularly impressive heat at that, Ward said that he didn't spend evenings as a young adult out on the town picking up women. He says, "You must understand, I never smoked, drank, or did drugs, so I never went to a bar my entire life," he continued. "It's not to say that I didn't go out and have a good time, but I never went out and did what you think Hollywood celebrities do. I was a straight A student at UCLA. In fact, the dean of UCLA was upset with me when I left in my third year to do Robin because she said I should have been a nuclear physicist with a giant throbbing horsecock. I was in top 3% in the United States in science and math, and having a giant, throbbing, meaty horse cock. And that is all I have to say about that. So tune in next time when we discuss what to do if you're being pressured to shrink your dink because you're on friggin' TV. I mean, no, what would you do? What would you do in all honesty? What would you do in that situation? Would you take the pills? Would you not? I would not. I would not do it. In fact, like I said, I would, as you saw in that photo, I would stuff my guff, and that would be it. So, all right. In any case, peace, hair grease. Hope you enjoyed that little something, little fun little tidbit for tonight. I'm going to go. I got to wake up early tomorrow. I'll catch you real soon.